very respected President Yamaguchi, Director Hase Gao, my colleague, friend, professors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here now and in our Sherpa tradition in Nepal and Tibetan tradition, we always say Tashibete. Without wasting time or delay, I just want to go to my slides because I am little worried and scared sometimes when we stand to speak and we don't care about our time and emotionally we are going and it might take a long time. So I don't want to do that. So whatever I think, because if I take 10 minutes, it has to take 20 minutes because of the Professor Joseph is translating. So I want to quickly present these slides. You all are very scholar, especially President, Director, Professor. So I am little hesitant to explain about Buddhism and social work, whatever things are. But even though it's a small child, kids always talk to something about their elders or something, and elders very carefully listen to them. It doesn't mean that he or she is saying something new for him, but just for take care of them. Oh, we have to listen to it. Maybe it happened to the same year. I'm not sure that I don't have that ability to explain you about Buddhism and social work. But even though hopefully that you will listen as a guardian, so I will explain here in slide you can see that I wrote Metta Bhavana. The Metta word came from Pali. Actually it is in Sanskrit it is called Maitri. In Buddhism, the main base and the root of Buddhism is loving kindness and compassion. This is the very base of Buddhism, and wherever I go, whenever I talk for Buddhist practitioner, when we do practice, when we think, and when we explain, I think the base should not missed. We always should live in the base. So that's why Metta Bhavana is a huge thing, because for Metta Bhavana has to develop for all the living beings, not only own self. Suppose maybe it will be too long, I will say a few that, because if we go to society, number one, every living being think I, then slowly go to my family, and slowly go to our relatives, furthermore, and country, and furthermore, maybe which country is my friend, which is enemy. Those things is in society, in the world. But Metta Bhavana is not that way. Metta Bhavana is, there is in Sutra, is broad, is highest or biggest covered by the sky. The living beings are until there. Wherever sky is, living beings are there. So our Metta Bhavana, our loving kindness and compassion also should be till that way. Until where is living beings, Metta Bhavana, compassion, loving kindness and compassion also has to be developed until there. And it is very easy to say Metta Bhavana, loving kindness and compassion, but very difficult to practice in our life. If I see by myself, as I became a Buddhist monk almost 30 years ago, and if I see inside of me, oh, how much loving kindness and compassion do you have? If I ask question by myself, oh, I didn't practice anything until nothing. Small loving kindness and compassion shown to others is everybody has it. But what is special inside of me? So it is not easy to practice, I think. It's very difficult. So, and Buddha said that three things has to be done in our daily practice. Three things. First, listening. And when we listen it, we have to think that whether it is helpful for us or not. It is right or wrong. And after we think that it is right, then we have to practice. So within one day, we need to listen. Without listening, we cannot know things. So after first we have to listen, then we have to think. So Buddha was the first person, he gave a freedom to his students because use your own mind, use your own wisdom. So don't believe and don't do what I say. Oh, if Buddha has said, you have to do it. No. If you follow what I say, it will be mine, it will be not yours. So to make yours, you have to think yourself whether it is helpful for you or not. So first listen, that is called listening wisdom, thinking wisdom, then practicing wisdom. Then if you think it is right, then you have to practice it. So this metta bhavana is also there. Is it good or not? We heard first, then we have to think that it's a good or not. And if we really think it is good, then we have to practice it. So that's why it's altruism. Altruism, the base of Buddhism is to benefit others. I have written that for the benefit others, it is necessary to generate bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means, bodhicitta means to think about others, not myself. Other living beings are important than myself. So that is called bodhicitta. Maybe that's all. So the picture can explain that how Buddha has a compassionate mind. Bodhicitta is a compassionate mind. So he has a compassion to all the living beings. So that kinds of bodhicitta is three types of bodhicitta or three kinds of bodhicitta. That is called one bodhicitta is like a king. And other kinds of bodhicitta is like who looks after cow and buffaloes, maybe yaks, who look after maybe people who look after cow, buffaloes, or and other third type of bodhicitta is who use the boatmen who drive the boat, ship. So why they use this kind of three types of bodhicitta is the kinds of king bodhicitta is that in the many centuries ago, everywhere was a kingdom. Then where the first king go there himself, and after that all his followers will come there. So then bodhicitta first he developed bodhicitta and become Buddha. Then he teach for everybody, and they took their own that way. So Shakyamuni Buddha is called king type of bodhicitta. So, I don't know which word I use, bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is a mind, and who hold to it is bodhisattva. The person, bodhicitta. And the bodhisattva is three types of bodhisattva. One is like a kinds of king, like a king, and other is like a boatman. So what boatmen do, what is ship, like I can say now is pilot or whatever is driver. Pilot and driver, they put all the passenger in the boat, in the aeroplane, then they fly together from one place to other place. So that types of that bodhisattva is, they come with us, sit with us, teach everybody, and they also practicing, he or she also practicing together, and they get enlightened. And like who looks after cow and sheep. That kinds of bodhisattva is, first everybody let's go to the enlightened. And in the last, he will enlighten. There's a cow who look after cow and yak, or those kinds of person is that in the beginning when the cow is at their house, also they let go first, everybody lets go, and from behind, he or she will go. When they bring back to the home, also all the sheep, cow or yak, whatever he or she has, they bring first, and in the behind, he or she will come. So that kinds of bodhisattvas are in the world. So three types of bodhisattvas. So for this, this part is, I talked loving kindness and compassion, what we need to develop. And now we have to think about the world. So there is a connection each and everywhere according to Buddhism. It is called interdependence or interconnected or interrelation. Without interconnected or interdependence, we cannot think about whole. Yeah, so how interconnected we have to know is that if we think about the world, even everyone we are sitting here in chair, we are dependent on chair. So chair is well dependent. Chair is dependent on floor, and this floor is dependent on the pillar. This pillar is dependent on the ground floor. Yeah, ground floor is dependent on the earth. These kinds of interconnected we have. Other is that if I say this one is long one, and if I compare with it, it will be short. And the short is dependent on long. Without long, we cannot say short. And long one is dependent on short. This is short. Or this is a tall or long one. Why? It depends on it. And if come longer, it will be shorter. Because each and every one is connected. Suppose maybe many people are here, parents, father or mother. Why? You have a children. If you don't have a children, you never get a name of parents. And where there is no parents, no children. Without father and mother, never can be children. So each and everything, husband, wife also is a name, everything is connected, everything is connected. If you are not married, if there is a woman, you never will be wife. And if you are man, if you are not married, even you are man, but the name of husband, you never get it. Why? Because you are not married. So everything is connected, everything is connected. So that is Buddha called interdependent. So bodhicitta also it depends on the living beings. If there is a living being are suffering, trouble, problems, then we have to develop kindness. Oh, then we can develop loving kindness and compassion on them. So on stone we cannot develop compassion. Stone means senseless things. Suppose in the house we cannot develop compassion. In this computer we cannot develop compassion. But compassion only can develop in the living being who are suffering, getting trouble, problem. So that's it is also interdependent. So Buddha cannot be Buddha without living being. So first he has to develop compassion on the living beings, then can be Buddha. And why Buddha? Because of us, because of living being. So everything is connected in the world. So that's why Buddha said this is interdependence. We have to know it about the world. So from here is a philosophical part, and we can have lots of debate about it. How to then interdependence shows emptiness. Emptiness means you don't have your own self, because when the name of father is depends on children, then father, you don't have yourself to create yourself. You cannot be. When we are depends other, then you don't have your own base. It means you are not able to create your name. You always depends other. So that is called emptiness and go other. So I don't want to go this fast because of the time, and I am not able to explain also the emptiness is. But we have to know that teaching of Buddha is. I used to say that most of people say teaching of Buddha is science. And I used to say teaching of Buddha will start where science will end, then teaching of Buddha will start. Because philosophically, even ordinary people, everybody can understand, but it is such a very deep, and once we understand it, once we understood it, it will be such a helpful in our life. So that's why from here is it comes, but emptiness or then level of the philosophy. So I don't want to go this, and I will change my slide now. So according to Buddha's time, or in Buddhism, so there are main three schools, or maybe I should say branches, maybe I should say traditions or whatever. And those all three practices in Nepal as well. It is called Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Yeah, I will tell you, Theravada Buddhists are much practices in Thailand, Sri Lanka, Burma, maybe Cambodia. And Mahayana Buddhism is practiced maybe in Japan, and Taiwan, China, And Vajrayana Buddhism is typically in Kathmandu Valley in Nepal, and as well as Tibet and Himalayan region of the Nepal and India as well. In these days, people are saying Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and Vajrayana Buddhism is looking out of the rope, what kinds of uniform they use, and this way they are saying Theravada and Mahayana Vajrayana. But in reality, it is not that way. Stage of their mind, thinking level of their mind is called Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. And for how they think, how they practice. So that is that's why it is divided into Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. So 3 slides I am showing here is that because this is Theravada, and Tibetan Buddhism is practicing all 3, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. And Vajrayana in Kathmandu Valley, typical Newari Buddhist tradition, they say we are Vajrayana. But there is a Mahayana or Tibetan Buddhism also practice same thing also. So maybe this much is okay. I better not to say that this. Yeah. Mostly this one. And I will tell you definition of Theravada, definition of Mahayana, and definition of Vajrayana. Maybe this one is better to say add before ending my should I say lecture or my speech or whatever it is. Very slightly, in the time of Buddha was not using word Theravada. At that time, word was using Hinayana. Hinayana means small vehicle. They have a thing only own self, thinking own self. That is called Theravada, because Theravada system is called Arhat. So, to be Arhat, we have to delete our 3 poisons especially. Attachment is called dosha, angriness, and ignorance. According to Buddha, these three are main root of poison, because how we are bounded in the world, how we attach to the world because of these 3 poisons. So who will completely finish this? So that is called arhat. Ara, but arihanto. Ara means enemies. These 3 poisons are our enemies. Who completely hanta means finish it, delete it. So that is called arhanta. That is Theravada system. Yeah, so to be arhat or to be Theravada practitioner. So number 1 is we have to see world is suffering-full world. There is a 4 main teachings of Buddha is called noble truth. So first is world is a suffering. So without looking world is suffering, we cannot practice it. Suppose to run away from this hall to out, we need to see there is a trouble here. There is a problem here. If I stay here, if I will stay here, it will be trouble for me. So I have to go out. It means I have to run out from here. So same thing there, Theravada practitioner, Hinayana means they have to see world is fully suffering. Oh, I am in suffering. We are in trouble. I am in trouble. So I have to get out from, I have to rid out from this suffering. So that is called Theravada practitioner. He or she is thinking own self. So that's why we are not become Theravada too, because we didn't see world is suffering. We all are here, staying here, maybe joyfully eating, thinking, going, dancing, go to party. In the world, even we are say Buddhist practitioner. So sometimes I think that maybe we are not Buddhist practitioner. We totally not became Buddhist now, because we didn't see world is suffering. So at least to be arhat, you have to see world is a suffering. So without being Theravada, cannot be Mahayana. And in these days, suppose I born in Nepal and I became a Mahayana monk, and I think myself is Mahayana. No. Without being Theravada, cannot be Mahayana, because you have to see world is suffering first. Then Mahayana is the Theravada and Mahayana. Different of Theravada, Mahayana is the Theravada, when he or she will see suffering of the world, he or she own self want to get out from the suffering or trouble. And Mahayana is then he or she will develop furthermore bodhicitta, what they call bodhicitta or bodhisattva means, oh, there are countless living beings are in the world. If I only get out from this suffering, oh, it will be meaningless. So many living beings are there in suffering, so I have to help them. I have to work with them, and I have to get rid them all from the suffering. When that kinds of mentality, that kinds of stage of thinking will come to your mind, so that is called bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means to think others, not thinking yourself. So, for example, if we all are very hungry here, and if I get food somewhere, and if I eat only myself, then I fill my stomach by myself, and that is called Theravada. And if I get food, many people are suffering by hunger there, I have to bring those food there and share with it all. If I think that way, so that is called the Mahayana, or thinking of your stage. So this is the definition or difference of Mahayana and Vajrayana, and without being Mahayana, you cannot be Vajrayana. That is 100%, more than 100%, because then when you develop your compassion, so for that compassion, the Vajrayana practitioner is, if you practice that Vajrayana, within one life you can be enlightened. So there's a shortest way, it's called the Tantrayana as well. The Vajrayana is Tantrayana. Maybe it's good to explain here or not, and maybe the professors and president, you all are very expert about Vajrayana, and so better not to say much about it. So without Theravada cannot be Mahayana, without Mahayana cannot be Vajrayana, because it is a stage of your mind, develop of your mind. But in these days what we are thinking is that, where we born? Oh, I am Vajrayana family, I am a Mahayana family, I am a Theravada. We are saying in the robe and in cultural, but in reality, not a robe and cultural. Reality is thinking on the stage of your mind. So this thing is when we come to my mind, and if we think about Buddhist social work. So social work is related to this thing. So how you do social work? So this definition we can see in this university as well. We are in the premises of the university, Shukutoku University. Maybe I don't know how many, you think yourself, yeah? No, do not need to give answer to me. From this morning to now, whole day we alive, yeah? We are here. So how many times we think about others? How many times we think about others? So that is whether if we think only by ourselves, if we work only to live by myself, if I work only for my family, it's called selfness, it's own self. But if we think, just the lady, I forgot the name, she took us to see the round of library, not the exact library, kinds of the picture there. When I see the photo of Professor Hasegawa, who founded this university, if we think about him, he has a Mahayana thinking. He has a own thinking. Because of him, we all are here today. But he thought far away to others. He did so many things for others. He always thought for others. So that is called the Mahayana way, or thinking of others. Without thinking self. Suppose if you think Mahatma Gandhi in India, all his life he spent for others. And when he got chance to be a president or prime minister, he said no, just give to others. So just think others. So that is the Mahayana way. So maybe we can realize by ourselves when we see these examples. I'm not sure. So when I think about those people, and when I was walking through the library also, I have kinds of special respect to them that, if I think by myself, and if I think Professor Hasegawa, like Gandhi, like Buddha, he left a palace. Who was going to be king, but he left a palace. He said, I don't need it. Maybe for others, I should do something. So that kinds of mentality is very difficult to come. Like for me, I cannot imagine, even though Suppose if I need to leave something, I can. So this is what computer. If somebody asks me, can you give me? I can give or not. I'm thinking by myself. So how we are thinking, how stage of our thinking, how is our level, and level of those people. So then when I think about it, when I analyze by myself, then I cannot do, but special respect from those people who they are really contributed to the world society. So this is my way of thinking. I don't know if it match with you or not. If it will not match with you, I'm sorry. But I always think this way when I go. Oh, this is maybe for me I think it is perfect, and whatever perfect for me, it is not sure and guaranteed will be perfect to others also. In the last, not the least, so when we work or think and work about social work, maybe we need to think about the real teaching of Buddha as a loving kindness and compassion. This has to be it, and then we may work for others. So this is maybe our duty. And this is a different topic, not a different, maybe related. Thank you very much for all, for your very warm welcoming me here and honoring me. It makes me very delighted and feeling honored and special feeling with the Shukutoku University. And I came here after a long time, maybe it means already 8 years. Time will pass very quickly. This is Buddha already said impermanent. And when we will see again, not very sure. And special thanks to all of you, respected President, Director, Vice President, or Deputy Director, or whatever, all the professors, and my old colleague, like Professor Kasuru, Professor Joseph, and colleague whom I met in the as a Kanawa, or some names I forgot, even though by face I know. Well, thank you very much, and also special thanks to giving me this opportunity to present here. And I don't know that I could express clearly or not. If there is any question that you can ask, from my side, this much. Thank you very much.